friends. It's Troy, your loan guy with the Reichert Mortgage team. Wanted to bring this video to you. I've been getting quite a few calls on why your payment or why their payment has gone up, since the last couple months and those kind of things. So I thought it'd be a really good idea to put this out there so I can kind of talk to you about something called escrow and escrow analysis. So what I've found is if you're in a fixed rate loan, really the major thing that can change your monthly payment on your mortgage is indeed a change to your escrow account. And we're going to talk about that for sure. So, what is an escrow? An escrow and an escrow account is a pot of money in the mortgage world that your lender holds to pay your property taxes. To pay your homeowner's insurance, or usually it's both. The majority of the Americans that have a mortgage are indeed allowing their lender to pay their property taxes and homeowners insurance for them. A lot of times lenders like to do that so they can make sure that there aren't any liens against the property from the county or city, is if you owe any property taxes, or if you got to make sure that you're covered for the home as well in the way of homeowners insurance. So again, most people escrow, not all the time, but most people do. So what happens is each lender does an escrow analysis at certain points, at least annually, and a lot of times when the loan is sold between mortgage companies, an escrow analysis could be done as well. So I want to show you a few examples of exactly what's going on here to hopefully help you, and just to let you know, it can get a little confusing. You have to unwind these things a little bit, and I'm definitely here for you. If you wanted to, send over an escrow analysis, we can go through it line by line to make sure that we understand what's going on and what has gone on and how to potentially fix any escrow shortage that is out there. Let's go ahead and look at a few examples here. So I wanted to show you this one here. This is again, this is doesn't matter who the lender is. This one is from United Wholesale Mortgage, and right up front in their pages, they say that there's a shortage. Believe me, when they do an escrow analysis, the chances of being a shortage are way higher than being an overage. So just expect your payments to go up occasionally because your property taxes went up and your homeowner's insurance went up. Usually it's both, unfortunately, but sometimes it's just one versus another. But we'll talk about that a little bit, okay? So, and it talks about your options here. You can have your monthly payment increase, or you can pay the full shortage and keep your payment uh, where it was before, okay? Or I shouldn't say where it was before, but at least it won't be uh, higher than what it needs to be to pay your property taxes and homeowners insurance, those new numbers. So uh, you got two different options here. You can have a higher monthly payment and catch up to that escrow shortage, or you can dump some money into that escrow account and only have a slightly higher mortgage payment if indeed property taxes and homeowners insurance went up. So that's what that looks like, okay? Now, let's take a look at the details here. Talks about your property address and when this statement went out and what's gone on as far as escrow payments. I'm going to show you that real quick as well. So this account history shows what's been going on, both money going in and money going out of your escrow account since the last annual period or the last escrow analysis. So in this scenario here, there was a $991 and 70 cent payment into the escrow account. Knowing this particular individual, actually they bought the home at that time, and this was the amount that went into the escrow account at purchase, okay? And so when you look at the escrow analysis here, it starts in September. Well, when you buy a home, normally your payment won't be until 2 months after, on the first of the month, 2 months after you purchase the home. So September 2022 was the first activity in the escrow account once mortgage payments were made. So first column talks about deposits into the escrow. They have a projected and an actual. A lot of times these numbers are identical. You made a mortgage payment. Some of that mortgage payment went into your escrow account to help pay for properties and property taxes and homeowners insurance later, right? So again, unless something weird's going on here, these almost always match. the amount they're projected and the amount that's actual. Let's look at this next column here. Payments from escrow. So this is money going out of escrow, and you can see there weren't any items that were expected in September, but in October they were projected to send 782.14, but the actual amount was 790.82. Okay, well, as you can probably guess, uh, the taxes went up, believe it or not, between the time of purchase and when this first disbursement from your escrow account took place. So it wasn't a lot, it was $8 and change, but it did indeed go up, and it will have an effect on your monthly payment at some point. So they paid a village tax, is what it was initially considered, and then it was actually a school tax. Okay, and then the last column it says, well, based upon what we see coming along, we expect these projected and actual balances to occur. Well, as you can see, the balance to start with was the 991 and change. That was from the title company to the lender, and that lender put it in the escrow account from the money at closing. September 2022, we had some money go in to that account, and you can see that the balance increased there. October, they were expecting just the village tax, and looks like that village tax um, didn't go out, right? But then the school tax, the actual name of the tax, went out, and uh, then that kind of hit there. So that's exactly what's going on here. You had an increase from the deposit into the account from 1322 and change to 1652 and change. That's that $330. Okay. Um, they were expecting 782.41 to come out in October, but actually a little bit more, about $8 went out. So that's why you see the actual of 862 even from the school tax and that slight increase. And then November and December, some deposits went in. January, they were expecting 572.63 to go out, but actually 553.48 went out. Uh, a reduction in a different type of property tax, right? This particular property is taxed by the county, by the school, by the city. They're getting hit in a bunch of different directions here. And this particular property tax was due in January. And so it was projected that 515.23 was going to be there in December. And then uh, money came into the account of 330 and change, and then actually they were expecting 1289 because that property tax was going to be 572 and change, but it actually turned out to be a little bit higher than that. The actual balance is fine. So that is the rare occurrence where the tax amount was lower than they anticipated. February, March, April, May, all of those deposits went in, and you can see that the escrow balance grew. In June, they expected 1988 in homeowners insurance, but if you go down a couple of, you can see that actually the homeowners insurance turned out to be 2396. So the homeowners insurance went up. Okay, put that in the back of your mind for a second. Let's go back to July here. The projected payment for property taxes in July was 623.88, and indeed that's exactly what it was. So no potential changes there. But we did have, as I mentioned before, a little over a $400 increase in the property taxes, excuse me, the homeowners insurance. So instead of having 661 in there, we've got 263 in that account. Now, August is going to be an estimate in here. So, and it gives you a total of what is expected to come in and what was expected to go out. And you can see approximately $400 increase in property taxes and homeowners insurance overall when you put it all in a blender there. So that's important when we talk about the escrow analysis. You got to make sure the lender's going to make sure that there's enough in that account to pay property taxes and homeowners insurance. And it's going to happen either, like it said, through uh, paying an escrow shortage each month until it's updated and good to go, or paying slightly higher because again, the property taxes, homeowners insurance total went up overall. You're going to have, instead of a really high payment, you're just going to have a little higher payment if indeed you take a chunk of money and drop it into the escrow. Okay. So what this also does is it says this is what we're projecting for the next year from September of 2023 until August of 2024. And so they've seen that the school tax went up and the property taxes are here. Those haven't changed too much there, and they're expecting the homeowner's insurance to stay stable. Now, that may or may not happen, but when they see this and they start doing the math on it, they're like, oh, well, we only going to have $230 in July of 2024. And according to their escrow department, they need a buffer of 2 months escrow payments to make sure that this is good to go. 727.36, by the way, is twice as much as the payments to escrow, 363.68. If you did the math on that, 363.68 times 2 is indeed 727.36. They want to make sure there's a buffer there. And so that is where they're getting this new loan payment potentially to cover up that escrow shortage. I'm going to go ahead and scroll right back up here, okay, to the options. All right. Now it does say that there's a shortage in here of 496.82, but they want a buffer of 700 and change in there. So remember, you want to follow, they're going to follow the rules of what's going on their statement. So we just got to make sure that we're in good shape there. So this person decided to go ahead and drop for the amount 496.82 into their escrow balance and only have a slightly higher payment. So, but you have two different options there, and it could compound, by the way, if you know, property taxes and homeowners insurance are always changing. So the next time they do an analysis, it could raise your payment again. So just realize that those things are happening in a cycle. Okay, so let's take a look at another example. Instead of just an annual escrow analysis, this was an estimate here of an escrow analysis that happened when one lender sold a loan to another lender. You can see the same columns and the same rows are there. Deposits to escrow, payments from escrow, and the escrow balance, and each of those have a projected and an actual amount. The deposits to escrow, as you can see, very similar to the previous one. They're expecting this amount to go in, and indeed that's how much went into that escrow account because that's what was their monthly payment. So when you look at payments from escrow in May of 2023, they were expecting 281.75. The actual was none. So that's because the title company paid that. They were expecting one thing and another thing happened, and that's okay. And they made an adjustment. In July of 2023 through January of 2024, uh, basically mortgage payments came in and the same amount each month went to the escrow balance. No money came from escrow to pay anything. Now, February 2024, we did indeed expect a property tax payment of 281.75, but look, it actually was 413.39. So this person's property taxes went up in February of 2024, and that changes what is going on and what is needed in that escrow account. So now here's the big one. Look at March 2024. There were two homeowners insurance payments, and not only were there two duplicate homeowners insurance payments, the payment premium went up from 2,085 to 3,197. So that created a huge discrepancy in the escrow balance. For some reason, this lender double paid the same premium twice. And I will tell you a little backstory here. The homeowner saw that this payment was going to go up from their homeowners insurance company, and they started shopping for homeowners insurance and found a lower insurance premium with another insurance carrier, and that needed to get paid, right? So that's why you see a double here. It's super weird. I will tell you, for some reason, this lender decided to pay $31.97 to the old insurance carrier and $31.97 to the new insurance carrier. Even though those premium, one, they shouldn't have paid the old one, and two, the premium on the new insurance carrier was less than $31.97. They just saw that the old carrier was going to go up, and they paid that same amount to the new carrier. Very, very strange here. This is not the norm. I wanted to show you an extreme example of what can happen on your escrow balance. The good news is I was able to ascertain exactly what happened, give this homeowner resources to get it fixed, so the new lender knew exactly what was going on. Uh, I will say this, the old insurance carrier noticed that they shouldn't have been paid, and a prorated portion of that 3197 was sent to the homeowner in the form of a check saying that there was an overage. And then also what happened was through escrow analysis, the new insurance carrier showed how much their premium actually was, and we were able to fix the escrow balance so this individual only had to have a slight increase in their mortgage payment due to the actual property taxes, which did indeed go up, and the actual homeowner's insurance, which went up slightly, but nowhere near the $3,197. So I wanted to show you another example of what one looks like. These escrow analysis documents will look different from lender to lender, and the reason for the actual analysis, but almost always you will see these rows and columns: deposits in, money going out, and what they're expecting the balance to be, and it'll actually show you what's going on there. So again, an escrow account is just a pot of money that the lender has to help you make your mortgage payments and your property taxes. You'll still potentially get bills specifically for property taxes. You want to just monitor your escrow account to make sure that those payments do indeed get paid by your lender to the city, the county, wherever it may go. And then your homeowner's insurance, that should just be, I don't think you'll be getting any bills there. Usually what happens with your insurance carriers, they know it's coming from the lender because there's something called a mortgagee clause. I could get into the details of that, but that mortgagee clause basically tells the lender where to send the money, and that gets all squared away. So I hope you found this helpful. If you indeed you found where your monthly payment went up and you're curious as to why, or you see some weird stuff going on with your escrow account, even if I didn't help you in the past, please, I'd love to be a resource for you. Let's go ahead and figure this out and make sure that you're on the right track to getting this taken care of. Troy, your loan guy with the Reichert Mortgage team. See you around. Take care.